Hey everyone, welcome back to Literally What. Happy Saturday. I hope everyone has had the most amazing week. I know I have because the weather has just been amazing. It's that time though where, I don't know if this happens in every state, but where I am in Florida, it's like this for about a week and a half, and then it just kind of tricks you and goes back to being warm. And so I'm just embracing every day I'm getting of this cooler weather, especially when it gets cool at night when we take our dog to the park or when I walk her in the mornings. It's just nice to not be getting hit by 90 degrees and humidity, and especially getting into October, November. It's nice to just have a little bit of a cooler day outside. I can put on a sweatshirt. So I'm embracing all of it. We're going to a pumpkin patch tomorrow, and I'm just really excited. So hopefully you are experiencing that fall weather. And if you're not, hopefully you will soon, because it's the best. It's the best time of year. Also, thank you to everyone who entered my giveaway. We did announce our 3 winners, so congrats to my 3 winners. They all got their prizes this week. And if you entered and didn't win, do not worry. I want to continue to do giveaways like this just to show my appreciation. And I think it's a lot of fun to kind of in a way, kind of talk and get to know more of you guys. And so I think it's just really fun to do. So we will be doing more of those in the future. So keep an eye out for that. Other than that, let's just go ahead and get into some hot gossip, hot take, stories, and advice that will have you saying literally what? Okay, this has been such a crazy week, and I want to just start off the stories with just talking about it and to kind of touch on it and then move on to other things. But I do want to talk about Liam Payne and his passing this past weekend, because when I tell you, there's certain things in life that you hear about it or you see it and you don't want to believe it, because it shouldn't happen in this way. And my friend texted me about it, and I thought it was kind of one of those like pranks, and I was like, what is she making, like a TikTok? Like, I thought it was just a joke. And then I went online and it was everywhere, and I feel like it just was coming out so fast, all this information, and it was just so sad and just shocking. I think I'm still kind of, and we all are kind of processing. And I know for me, I'm 24, like One Direction was such a big part of my life growing up, and their songs, they all just kind of bring me back to a certain place that I was in my life. And, a lot of firsts and just a lot of different things that growing up, like, it was like the first boy band really we all had. And it's so like mind boggling to think about, because he was so young. And there's a lot of rumors and just a lot of things that are going around about the whole situation. And it's just so sad. And I think sometimes we forget about the family. Like, he had a 7-year-old son, he had a girlfriend, he had he is someone's son, he is someone's grandson, and it's just hard to think about things like this. But I'm just going to read from the news. I don't want to talk about just like rumors or anything. I'm just going to talk about what was reported on. I'm sure you're finding and reading a lot of stuff online, because I feel like the human race is just curious about things like that, because it's just so shocking when it happens. But just to remember, like, he, does have family and they are grieving, and also you never really know what someone's going through, and just to be kind to everyone. So, with that being said, he was obviously on vacation in Buenos Aires, and the police issued a statement this past Wednesday saying that he fell from a 3rd floor balcony of his hotel in Argentina, and he sustained extremely serious injuries and was declared dead on the spot by medics. They're still doing a toxicology report, but the autopsy results released by officials said that he died from multiple traumas, internal and external hemorrhage. They said that substances were found in Payne's hotel room, suggesting alcohol and drug consumption before his death, and that he was under the influence and alone when he fell. So I don't know if you've seen the pictures, but I saw the pictures of in his hotel room, and the TV was cracked. There was obvious, drug and alcohol use going on, and just really, really sad to see. And then a local official by the Associated Press said that he had jumped from the balcony of his room, and that the position of his body suggested that he didn't adopt a reflexive posture to protect himself. So a lot of people are saying that he fell in a state of like maybe being unconscious or semi-unconscious and not knowing what he was doing, which is just super sad. But the police originally were going to this hotel because just at 5 p.m., the hotel manager placed an emergency 911 call complaining about a guest under the influence of drugs and alcohol who had destroyed some objects in the room. And then they also expressed concern that the guest has a balcony and they're afraid they might do something to put their life at risk. So just a lot going on. He obviously was going through a lot, and it's just so sad. And obviously all of the band members have released their statements as well that I read. And it's just, it's one of those things where you don't think it's going to happen. And when you see it, it's just like hard to believe and just a shock. So really, really sad. But, you know, just prayers to the family, prayers to everyone who is mourning this loss, and just a really, really awful situation. And just, you know, you never know what someone's going through, and just be nice and kind to every single person. So yeah, really, really awful. And I hate that I have to just continue going on and talking about other stories, but I didn't want to save that till the end because it is really, really, really heavy. But I didn't want to not talk about it because he and One Direction, they were all like a really big part of my childhood and growing up. So anyway, we'll just move on to our next story. And this one I saw on TikTok. I'm sure a lot of you have as well. And it was a woman named Rachel SIEGEL. And she went viral after being left at the altar, which is just, I honestly think that it is one of the worst things you can do to someone, to leave someone at the altar. And we see it in movies and TV shows, but I think when I saw this, and everyone who saw this video in real time, it's kind of like this happens to people in real life. And how awful of a human being can you be to do that to someone? And not even the night before or a week before, the day of, when everyone's already ready. She's in her wedding dress. Everyone's ready to see this wedding. It's just, I cannot imagine. So she posted this video saying, "My name's Rachel and my fiance just left me at the altar." And it was like her in her wedding dress and just like dancing off. And she's so beautiful. And it was just so crazy to see. And the video has reached 39.8 million views. She did continue on with the wedding. She entered the reception and all of her family and friends were there. She had this party bus. All the groomsmen stayed as well, which that I think speaks volumes that they stayed for her and they didn't leave. So obviously this guy is just the worst. This guy is awful, like seriously awful. So she still did party and have just a lot of fun and made the best of the situation. And honestly, good for her, because I don't know what I would do in that situation. And just the way she handled it, I mean, I can't imagine. But positive notes, I mean, she did dodge a bullet. I mean, if this guy's willing to leave her at the altar, then he's obviously a terrible man and not who she needs to be with. And I think while this is such a devastating thing, and something that majority of people will never know what it feels like, she'll look back and be grateful that this happened to her. And I think this is going to be a pivotal moment in her life, and she's just going to thrive from now on and just do amazing things. And I hope that she does go on to do amazing things. She is still posting videos, and I don't know, maybe she can get something out of it, because it's just such an awful situation. But good for her for how she handled the whole situation. I hope this guy just is miserable for the rest of his life. I haven't looked him up. I don't know if I mean, I'm sure he like took himself off social media and all of that, but I wonder if people have already found him, because I mean, almost 40 million people seeing this video. That's so crazy. And I think she was holding a high noon, and I saw a clip of Dave Portnoy saying that he wants to send her a ton of high noons. So free high noons for her. But it's just like stories like this, you don't think about that happening, and you see it and it's like, oh my gosh, how can you do that to a person? You know what I mean? But yeah, just hopefully she can just realize her potential and go and be the best version of herself that she ever was, and not even look back at the situation, and just be glad that she doesn't have to deal with this man anymore, because he clearly is the worst. Okay, our next story is a little Disney theme park news. This goes for Disney in Orlando and also Disneyland in California. And they have a new high-priced Lightning Lane pass. When you guys hear how much this is, you are going to be in shock. And we all know Disney's overpriced with their water bottles and food and tickets and blah, blah, blah. But this, I think, is putting it on a whole other level of, let's see how many people we can not get to come back because of how expensive all this is. Like, I don't know what their thought process was in making this decision, because I've been going to Disney for a long time, and this is a very stupid move. I've agreed with a lot of what they've done, but this is so stupid, in my opinion. So, Disney theme park guests will get to skip more lines than ever with this high price option coming this month in October, and it's called the Lightning Lane Premier Pass. So if you've been going to Disney, you know there was the Fast Pass where you could choose a few rides to get in front of the line. Recently, when me and my husband went, it was the Genie, I think it was called Genie Pass. I loved the Genie Pass. It depends on what park you went to. I think we went to Animal Kingdom and used it. It was like maybe $18. It was really cheap, and we could literally just pick a ride, get in that line, pick another ride, when we're in that line, and keep going on all these different rides, just skip all around. It was so cheap, and we got on every single ride we wanted to. It was amazing and perfect. And then it was, announced that they were getting rid of Genie Plus, and all of the Genie Plus signs were replaced with these Lightning Lanes, but Lightning Lanes still are not available yet. But I was like, okay, what's this Lightning Lane going to be? Surely it's going to be more efficient. Maybe this is going to be better than Genie Plus or Fast Pass. I don't know how, because Genie Plus was pretty simple to use. And then this was announced, and it's actually crazy, you guys. So basically, it's a pilot program, so maybe they're just testing it out, I don't know, but it's called Lightning Lane. And so if you're willing to pay hundreds of dollars on top of your entry tickets, so you also have to pay the $100+ to get in, you can experience more attractions without waiting in long lines. Now, these are going to be very limited quality, and it's going to allow guests one entry to each Lightning Lane attraction throughout the day without having to book arrival times. And you also get a photo and video from certain attractions. So currently, guests have more limited options in Lightning Lane multi-passes, and you can pay extra to book a limited number of arrival appointment times at certain attractions, and then you can get the single pass, which is 2 per guest per day. So what I'm gathering is they're testing this out right now. I think you can only get this if you're staying at a Disney resort, so I'm guessing they're going to see just how it goes. But it seems as though you can enter one ride each, like your Lightning Lane, you can go to each attraction with Lightning Lane, but only go to it once, which I don't like as much, because when we had the Animal Kingdom Genie Pass, and again, I'm not like a expert on this stuff, so I could be talking about this wrong, and I'm sure there's plenty of people on the internet that are smarter about it, but from experience, my husband and I did the Genie Pass for Animal Kingdom, and we used it to go on Animal Kingdom's Expedition Everest. I think we got on it 4 or 5 times, just because, there would be like a 15-minute window, so we would get on, 10 to 10:15, then we go to another ride, and then we'd book it again for 10:45 and just keep going back. So it made it very easy, and it was very nice. We could go on it as many times as we want, as long as there was a time to book it. This seems like you can use it once per ride with a Lightning Lane. Just very odd to me. So anyway, let's get to pricing. So since we're getting into Halloween, Christmas time, which we know is a very popular time for people to go to Disney and Disneyland, the pass for Disneyland right now is $400 per person. Per person, you guys. And then in 2025, the pricing is going to vary depending on what day you go, within a $300 to $400 range, but you also have to buy a ticket. Okay? So that's for Disneyland. All right. Now for Walt Disney World, you can only get this if you're staying at a resort. So I guess this is how they're kind of testing it out. And depending again by the date and the park, it's ranging from $149 to $449 plus tax. Of course, so Animal Kingdom, I don't know why Animal Kingdom always gets the least amount of pricing, because I love Animal Kingdom, but that's just me. So that's the cheapest, and that is going to be $129 to $199. Now we're working our way up to Magic Kingdom, $329 to $449. Can we, if we're being realistic, okay, I'm actually just shocked by this, because a standard ticket, say we're going to Magic Kingdom, I think Magic Kingdom is probably like $170, $180. Animal Kingdom, I think, is like $120 $29. So now we're paying double, triple a ticket just to get ahead of a few lines. And if you're not buying it, then you just have to stay in the long line. And I guarantee not a lot of people are going to be buying this because that's a lot of money. So the lines are going to be even longer because it was really, really easy to get that Genie Plus or get the Fast Pass. And now I'm hoping everyone listening to this right now is in shock as much as I am, because I just can't wrap my head around. I already know people with kids who go to Disney, spend thousands of dollars. I can't imagine Disney's going to make money on this, because I don't know how, and maybe people will spend money on this because if it's their once a year trip, but come on, that's like, it's so much. It's just the fact that it's that much more expensive than a ticket. I'm sure you can't park hop with it. There's no way they're going to let you park hop with it. I'm sure it's per day, per park. Like, this is insane to me, you guys. I can't believe that. So if you are planning to go to Disney, just have it in your head that, you know, you're not really going to be able to get to skip lines, which is so frustrating because, again, when we used the Genie Plus at Animal Kingdom, I mean, it was like the best day we've had there because we could just get on all these different rides and it was so easy. And yeah, like, you had to continue like making reservations while you were at the park, but I don't care. Like, we got to skip lines. So anyway, Disney, this is so dumb, and I hope that this doesn't stay because this is the dumbest decision they've ever made in their life. Okay. Next story is about one of my favorite celebrities, Selena Gomez. I've been watching her in Only Murders in the Building, and if you're not watching this season, it is so good. I'm obsessed. But we are learning why Selena Gomez doesn't sleep in her bedroom. And I just thought this was interesting, and I wanted to read a little bit about it. And so this is what she said. She was opening up about her mental health struggles and how they've impacted her relationship in her own home. And it's pretty eye-opening. She said she no longer sleeps in her own bedroom because it brings back memories of some of her darkest moments. Quote, I spent too much time in my bedroom that I actually don't even sleep in my bedroom anymore. I associate it with such a really dark time. She got real about how anxiety played a huge role in those tough moments. She said, being anxious is so debilitating. I didn't want to leave my bed for years, and part of it was that I wasn't doing the work. You have to believe in yourself and do the work that will truly enlighten you a little bit. She said, I don't have a lot of people in my life. I know who my inner circle is. I have to talk things out. I have a therapist, but it's also nice to have people around you who will just listen. And she's talked about her mental health a lot. She did her documentary, My Mind and Me, where she talked a lot about bipolar depression and anxiety. She said, I truly believe there's power in being vulnerable and telling people when you need help. But I think this is interesting, and you know, I feel like people who don't struggle with mental health, it's hard for them to kind of comprehend things like this. And I struggle with mental health, and, you know, you can relate to things like this where there's certain things or places or just even a picture that can pop up and it'll bring you back to dark times. And, you know, I think that not sleeping in your bedroom is definitely something that a lot of people can relate to who do struggle with things like that. And, I forget what show I was watching, but it was basically about she was struggling with anxiety and depression and not sleeping in her bedroom, and she would just sleep on her couch because she went through something traumatic with her family and then just couldn't sleep in her bedroom anymore. She ended up turning her bedroom into some like workspace, but solely slept on her couch. And it's just, I mean, sometimes you just have to do it, and that's the only way that you can kind of continue to work on yourself and move forward and just try to get out of that headspace and, you know, go to therapy and continue working through it and figuring out, you know, kind of like your triggers and what's going to help you and just kind of clear your head a little bit more. But I just thought this really interesting. I love people who openly talk about mental health. I think it's not talked about enough. I think, even like just growing up, it was never talked about, and now I feel like it is being talked about a lot more, which I think is amazing. I think a lot of people do struggle with it and don't really know enough about it, I guess. And so I just encourage everyone to even just like read a book about mental health and just like the different ways and struggles that people go through, because especially if you don't struggle with it, it's hard to kind of relate. And I promise, like, if you read about it, you'll kind of understand why people are the way that they are, just so you can be a little more empathetic towards people. But I love that just in today's society, we're talking a lot more about mental health, and I could talk about it forever and ever and ever because I'm very passionate about it. And yeah, just good to know that celebrities can be open and honest and talk about it as well. And if you're ever struggling, there's always people around to help, and lots of books that I can recommend as well. Or therapy also helps. Sometimes. I don't know. Therapy can be kind of crazy. That's a whole other story. Anyway, let's talk about another celebrity, Nick Jonas. So him and his brothers, they were performing on tour in Prague, and he ran off the stage after a laser pointer was pointed at him during the middle of their concert. So the singer could be seen in video footage from the event sprinting off stage and then making a timeout gesture with his hands. And then said, we can confirm the Jonas Brothers' performance had to be interrupted for several minutes due to the use of a prohibited laser pointer by this specific person. Immediately, they responded to the fact, and then they got back on the stage a few minutes later and continued on with their performance. And yeah, I mean, I think celebrities a lot of times go through things that are really scary. I see so many videos all the time of people throwing things at the stage, and it's like, why would you? I mean, I can't imagine. It's got to be scary in a way to be on a stage with thousands and thousands of people there, and it's like, you don't know what people are capable of. The world's crazy. But the laser pointer incident came after a wave of concerning conduct at other concerts. So Green Day was ushered off at their Detroit gig after someone flew an unauthorized drone. Obviously, Taylor Swift's Eras Tour Vienna concert was canceled due to the terror plot. Just, I mean, there's a lot of things that happen, and a lot of people get things thrown at them, and just, I mean, it's awful. And I think, good for him running off, and thankfully he's safe, but I can't imagine, just, that's got to be so scary. But I just, like, I can't stand these people who just, I see so many videos of people just throwing things on the stage, and it's like, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing that? I don't understand it. So if you're one of those people, like, stop. Like, I don't understand. I don't get it all. I think the last one I saw maybe was Megan Maroney. And, like, someone chucked something at her head, and thankfully she, like, went the other way. But I'm like, what are you doing? These idiots. Oh, my gosh. Just no common sense. Like, where are your parents? Seriously. All right. Well, we talked about Disney, so now it's time to talk about Universal, you guys, because Universal Orlando has finally announced their Epic Universe opening date. And it's a lot sooner than you might think, and a lot sooner than I thought. So they announced this past Thursday that its newest theme park is officially going to open on May 22nd, 2025. This theme park will feature more than 50 attractions, entertainment, dining, and shopping options across 5 expansive worlds. Celestial Park, which is the theme park's main world, is going to have gardens and fountains. And then from that central Celestial Park, you are going to travel through portals to each of the other 4 worlds, which is the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Ministry of Magic, Super Nintendo World, How to Train Your Dragon, Isle of Berk, and Dark Universe. You guys, I am so excited. Also, so my husband and I are huge Harry Potter fans. We have it on probably 3 out of the 7 nights. We're at home just for background noise, but he has never been to Universal. And I know if you're a Harry Potter fan, you've been there, you're freaking out. I know. I'm dying to take him. I need to figure out the perfect time so he can see it. But this is also, now he'll be able to go to the Ministry of Magic new park that's opening. I think it's going to be so fun. I cannot wait to take him. I'm like, how have you never been? Oh my gosh. Like, sometimes, like, it's so funny because I grew up going to Disney World or whatever, and I don't think he really went to Disney. It's just so fun because I got to take him, and he was just, like, having the best time. I don't think my sister has been to Harry Potter World at Universal either, so I want to take her at some point too. But it's just so cool when you see, like, these worlds come to life, and it's just, I'm so excited. But anyway, I think this is gonna be so fun. And I mean, it's coming a lot sooner than I thought. So yeah, reservations for their new Grand Hotel are opening in 3 days, actually, on the October 22nd, and you can start staying May 22nd. But yeah, I'm so excited. Now I'm just trying to, I want to read all about the different parks, because the Ministry of Magic, what I know, they have a ride at this one that's kind of new, but it doesn't say what it is. Nintendo World is going to be really exciting. You travel through a green pipe. So fun. How to Train Your Dragon is going to have different rides. Dark Universe, I'm so excited for, because it's all about just the different monsters and stuff. And then the main hub, Celestial, hey, they're going to have attractions too, like a carousel, a dual launch racing coaster with a top speed of 62 miles per hour. I'm so excited for this. That's going to be so much fun. And I guarantee, though, it's not going to be as expensive as these stupid Disney ticket lightning lane passes. I still can't get over that. I'm sorry. That's crazy. Up to $449. So you're spending $500 plus on just tickets. You guys, come on. Okay, as we know, SNL has come back for its next season. They have had 3 episodes out. Their 4th one is going to come out tonight, obviously. And the past episode, you guys, oh my gosh. I feel like with SNL, I'll watch an episode and I'm like, this isn't funny to me. I didn't connect with anything. And then sometimes they'll have an episode or a skit that just is so funny and you won't stop thinking about it. And the past week, the SNL sketch, this new one, it is now the most viewed TikTok on the SNL page in less than 2 days. So Ariana Grande's sketch is now the most viewed TikTok on the SNL page in less than 2 days, surpassing Pete Davidson and Timothée Chalamet's video. And it's all thanks to Domingo. So basically, it's the skit where they're at a wedding and the bridesmaids are obviously, singing their song they made up for the bride and groom. And it's to the track of Sabrina Carpenter's, did I say Sabrina? Sabrina Carpenter's Espresso, and they're all trying to sing off key, and then it's basically just about how the bride was cheating on her husband while they were at the bachelorette trip, and his name is Domingo, and then he came up and sang. Oh my gosh, you guys have to watch it. It's been stuck in my head. I'm so obsessed with it, and it's just so funny. And it's just some of the skits just are so good, and I always wonder whoever wrote it, if they feel so good about themselves, because I feel a lot of times a skit just won't do very well. And this, I mean, it's surpassing the Pete Davidson Timothée Chalamet one, and it's the most viewed. It has millions of views. Everyone's talking about it, and it's that's gotta feel good. You know what I mean? That you're the one that did that. So definitely go give that a watch, because it's worth it, and it's gonna be stuck in your head for the rest of the month. Honestly, I mean, I'm probably gonna think about this forever and ever. It's so good. So good job to whoever wrote that skit, because it's really great. Alrighty, those are all of our stories. Now we're going to recap our Dancing with the Stars dedication night, and I'm more excited because next week is Disney week, and I love Disney week. I also love Halloween week, so we have a great next couple episodes coming, and we have a lot to talk about this past week. So we're going to go through all the couples and talk about it, because if you're not talking about Dancing with the Stars, what are you even doing? Okay, first of all, we had Mark, who was a judge this week, and everyone was talking about how he needs to come back and be a judge. I want to see him come back as a pro, okay? Because his dances are just so good, especially if you guys remember him with Charli D'Amelio. He had some of the best costumes and dances and choreography. I love him. I don't think he'll come back as a pro, but a judge, maybe. I don't know. They need to switch it up soon. Maybe they'll add 4. Maybe I don't think they'll replace anyone, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, he was just really fun and gave really, really great feedback compared to Gene Simmons. God, I hate that guy. All right, so Chandler and Brandon went first. They got all 8s. Here's my thing. Everyone's always hating. She deserves a 9. She deserves a 10. You got to think about it this way. She is the only one, again, that's a really great dancer. They're going to be harder on her because she is the top dancer. So they want to make sure that they're critiquing and making her the best she can be. She's already a great dancer, but if there's things she can work on because she is so good, they need to tell her that, is just kind of my thinking. One thing that's weird to me about them is, like, obviously Dancing with the Stars posts a picture of the couple after their dance, and she was basically commenting on the Instagram in the comments, like, I'm so sorry to, like, my fans, like, please make sure you're still voting. And so did Brandon. It's just kind of it's just rubbing me the wrong way that they're just like, I don't know how to explain it. And I'm sure, like, no one feels this way, but it's just weird that they're, like, commenting in the Instagram comments. Like, I don't know. Does anyone get what I'm trying to say? It's, like, almost cringy to me. Like, they're just really just trying to get up. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know. I'm just going to shut up. But obviously she's a great dancer, and yeah, they're going to critique because it's only week 5. I don't know. Anyway, I digress. Next up, Steven and Riley, they got 3 8s and a 9. They're just really fun to watch, and her choreography is really, really amazing. I will say, though, he does get really ahead of the music. Like, I'll see his steps are ahead of Riley's, or maybe he's, like, missing or adding steps. So I think he definitely needs to work on his footwork, because I'll notice it a lot. Like, they're out of sync, or he's just, like, kind of way ahead of the music. But they are just a lot of fun to watch, and I love her choreography. And yeah. All right, Danny and Whitney, they got 4 9s. I mean, you guys can't tell me you didn't see that and think that was, like, the best dance ever. I mean, some dances, like, won't do it for me, and I'm just like, boring. But that dance is one of those dances that is just, I was eyes glued to the screen the whole time. They did amazing. I really think Danny wants this, and I love when an athlete comes on and just really gives it their all. And again, in the interview, Whitney was talking about the choreography and how she really wanted Danny to shine in these moments. And that's what I think at the end of the day, it comes down to choreography. Like, if you have a really great pro who knows how to choreograph and make the dance and the celebrity look good, the dance is going to look good. Obviously, when you get, like, the older people who can't dance as well, it's hard. But when you have a good dancer and who's willing to learn, and then you have a choreographer like Whitney, I mean, it was so good. And he's a front runner. I was nervous about it because I really liked him and Whitney, but after seeing that dance, I'm like, all right, he's in this. Next, Dwight and Daniela. You guys know he was, like, my number 1 coming into the season, and I think he's gonna go home soon. I don't think he's gonna make it as far as I thought he would, which is hard. And I wanted them to make it to Halloween night because I know that Danielle's choreography is gonna be spectacular. And maybe he'll kind of come back. He did a lot better this week. And the song that he sang is honestly so cute. And I want to play it, like, if I ever have kids one day, because it's just, like, such a sweet little song. Like, he's so much fun to watch, and you can see that he's having fun. But I don't think he's taking it as seriously as Daniela is. And I don't know. Do you guys feel that way? I just feel like he's not taking it as serious. And, like, I love them, but I don't know. I want to see more of her choreography. I love seeing all of her dances, but I'm not going to be surprised if he goes home soon. I don't want him to, but I'm not going to be surprised. So we'll see. Phaedra and Val. I love her as well because I just watched the trailers that she was in. So going in, I knew who she was, and she's so cute. However, a lot of times I feel like it's just Val kind of dragging her around or, like, moving around her. It's not a lot of her, moving around a ton and a great choreography. So I think she'll be one of the next to go personally, which is sad. But yeah, I think she's kind of, what she's doing right now is how it's going to kind of be the rest of the season, if that makes sense. Oh yeah, and then we get Derek and Haley. I mean, what a story. And it's just so sad. I don't even know what to say. It was just so sad. What a story. But I mean, what a miracle. I mean, as they were saying, like, what a miracle. Like, it is a miracle. And their dance was just, I mean, it was beautiful. And I'm so glad that they have each other. And I mean, I don't even know what else to say. Just beautiful. And then we got Glenn Brooks' dance that was right after that. Whoever made their dance right after Derek and Haley's needs to get fired, because why would you do that? He Here's what I'll say. I think Brooks is a good dancer. I think if she had a different partner, she would have gone farther. So spoiler, they're the ones that went home, and we'll talk about it after we go through each couple. But, and I saw so many people like, why, like, they did so good. It's literally her and her three sisters shaking their butt and like doing this dance at the beginning, and they're not even in sync. Like their feet they're not even using the right feet together. And everyone's like, what, they needed knives. I'm like, what? They're not even in sync. This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. And can I just say, like, if you grew up watching Dancing with the Stars, you can't tell me Len would be sitting watching this dance being like, this is a great dance. No, this is not Dancing with the Stars. I mean, they were so sexualized, everything they both did as a couple. And I genuinely believe that they might not ask Gleb to be a pro next year, because I think he handled everything very professionally. And yeah, I didn't like them anymore. And their attitudes, which I'll just wait till I'll wait to talk about that. But the dance, especially coming right after that, not great. Okay, now we'll go on to my winners, Joey and Jenna. I mean, no notes. He moves like butter. Every time I watch them, I'm like obsessed. Like, I don't think it can get better. And then they dance again the next week, and it's amazing and better. But can people stop with these whole, oh, Kelsey and Joey are in a fight. Oh, Kelsey and Joey broke up. Oh, Kelsey and Joey this. Why are people so obsessed? Like, they're fine. Stop making, like, I don't understand why they're doing that to them. And if I was Kelsey, I would be so pissed off and so annoyed with everyone, because every week it's like, oh, Kelsey's not, oh, hello. Every week Kelsey's mad. Every week they're broken up, blah, blah, blah. It's like, shut up. They're fine. Leave them alone. Oh my gosh, people. Okay, Alona and Alan, I loved her outfit. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh, she did so much better than last week. I mean, so good, so amazing. I want more choreography from them, though. I feel like, I don't know, the choreography, I need them to step it up a little bit. I'm a choreography girl, okay? I love the choreography, but I need different choreography for them. But I love them. Jen and Pasha, she dances really beautifully. They're just not my favorite couple. Yeah, but she dances really pretty. I don't know. She dedicated to Taylor Swift, and everyone else is dedicating it to like their mom or like their sibling. I'm like, I don't know. I get she loves Taylor Swift, but I was like, really? Don't hate me for saying that, okay? And then obviously we had Brooks and Gleb, who went home. Okay, I know so many people who I know love them, but you can't tell me after seeing their reactions that you don't want them to go home. I mean, their attitudes suck. They are so cocky. They obviously thought they were going to win, but they probably spent half of practice making out. Like, they were in shock. Like, I don't understand. Because all I saw on the internet was people being like, I'm so over them. So when I saw people being shocked that they went home, I was like, I assumed they were, like, I was hoping they would be going home because I'm just so over them. But hopefully if you were a fan of them, you could see their attitude this episode and be grateful that they went home, you know? Sorry, that's all I'm going to say. But yes, Disney night, I am so excited for that. It's going to be such a great episode. So we will be recapping that next Saturday. And yeah, I think that's everything for this week. I hope everyone enjoys the weather, whatever weather you're having, that you go pick a pumpkin. Then this next week, I want you guys to go do something fall. I want you to either go to pumpkin patch. I want you to either go get like an apple cider donut somewhere, or I want you to watch a scary Halloween movie with apple cider. Do something fall, because it's that time. And I feel like every time we make these bucket lists of things we want to do and then we never do them. So my challenge to you, do something fall in the next week, okay? Make sure you are following the Instagram, the TikTok, like and subscribe, 5-star review. You know the drills. I love you guys so much. I hope you have an amazing next week, and I will talk to you next week for some more hot gossip, hot take, stories, and advice that will have you saying literally what? Bye, guys.